Welcome, my name is Clint Butler, and this is SEO This Week, episode number 24, presented by Olympia SEO. We have some great topics for you. Some things you've probably seen before, but maybe a different spin on, and then some all new stuff all together. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to kick it off this week again with Moz and the Whiteboard Friday. There's 3 tactics for hyperlocal keywords. Basically, this is really important for your keyword research. What bring this on is you can do keyword searches for brand names. You can do keyword searches for local terms. However, the search or AdWords keywords tool doesn't bring up enough information about actual traffic. Like, for instance, ductless heat pumps, 1,400 keyword searches a month, and you put it into local and it's significantly less. And then if you put it into a AdWords campaign, you find, at least in my area, it's 0. And I wouldn't have known that without an AdWords campaign, without deep diving into different versions of the keyword where we found the actual money keyword where we were making money for the client. So here's some solutions to go for. One is perhaps going for a bigger community. Let's say you're a subdivision, Scottsdale heating or Scottsdale air conditioning, and then you change that and go to Phoenix. And obviously, that's a really bad example because Scottsdale has a lot of, I'm sure, a search traffic, but you can kind of get the idea where I'm going with that. And the second is to use the auto suggest, just different versions. And that thing's populated because of popularity in searches. So if you type in something and you see some auto suggest stuff, that means people are actually searching for those. So go ahead and try it out. You can leverage that in Bing, Maps, YouTube as well. And then finally is use the related searches at the bottom of the thing. These are not as trustworthy as the popular orders ones that you get out of suggestion, but it still works. And collect as many as you can within reason, and then what you do is put those into a PPC campaign, target for your specific local area, and see what happens. Use the impressions to judge how much traffic you got. You can let it go for a week, times 4, there's your monthly traffic, or just let it go for a whole month and get the true nature of the volume for that specific month. On top of that, you can run a click to call campaign. If this for a local contractor, for example, actually get a really decent result out of it. So good video, short, and I think the keyword research ideas will help you out significantly. Okay, next we'll go back to Moz, as a matter of fact. And we're going to a post on local SEO and beyond just ranking in the maps. That's really the gist of this. It's saying there's only 3 places really in the maps. Not everyone can be there. The competition's a lot fiercer, but here's some other things you can think of in order to leverage that traffic a little bit better. One is you can get the ads in the map pack. 2, you can actually do what a lot of people are doing is they're sorting by rating. So let's say you're down on page 2 for whatever reason. Everyone above you has less rating score. Everyone above you is not a 5. They're 4.8. You happen to be a 5. Well, if you rate by or if you sort by rating, like a lot of people do, then you're going to pop up on top. And likewise, if you change that and sort by the rating number, then that'd be different as well. Now you can consider altering your local strategy and do some other things. Like let's go towards looking at who your competitors are. And in this example, you see FindLaw, you see Yelp in there as well. Well, you can have a listing on both of those sites. And if they're ranking here for a general page, boost up the ranking of your Yelp page. And it just may find that easier than your own website. And a lot of people go, well, I want my website to be number 1. And my reply to that is, if all roads lead to you, what does it matter what your ranking is? Let's say you have FindLaw, then Yelp, then your website, and then maybe a couple other directories in the top 5 of the search results. What does it matter that your website is number 4 as long as the number 1 listing is making your phone ring? And looking at some voice search, there's really questions. If you can answer questions, this is where that's really going to come into play more specifically than looking for places, unless you're like, where can I get the best Chinese food or something like that, or where is a pizza place is the example in here. Put those into your site, make some posts about that, and then maybe you actually get a little bit of traffic. And then add some near me searches, same philosophy behind the where is for, and then stay away from ads. I don't know why he did that. I would put more specifically, use ads to leverage to get added traffic. If you're getting great traffic from organic already, I wouldn't put ads on it for that specific term, unless you're really getting really good traffic. And then maybe if the ROI is worth it, then go for it. But I use paid ads specifically to test it out and see where I'm going. Obviously, you leave doors open for your competitors to rank to get the ad clicks, but most people are blind to those now. So you're not really going to get a whole lot more, maybe 5% more clicks than you would if you had just the top 3 rankings. So, figure that out. And then finally, you close it out with looking at featured snippets. These are big old boxes, knowledge graph boxes that you see in there. They're, it's tables, lists, etc. Show you how to kind of get those going. There is a link to a White Boy Friday, so you can learn a little bit more about it. The trick is making them and getting Google's attention, and then having one of those already in place for your specific team. So you can take these over if you do it right. But that's key, is doing it right and figuring out what the path is to initiate or let Google know that you are trying for the knowledge graph. There's some more information in here about solid web foundation, review strategies, all stuff that we've gone over before, but it's really good general reading if you want to get past those top 5 and just kind of understand what's going on. Next, we look at how to make information architecture and SEO work together. Frankly, why they chose to use information architecture is beyond me. It should be how to make your site structure work with your SEO, or how to silo your website to work with your SEO. It's all the same exact thing. It's the way you organize your website in order to increase the opportunities for your visitors and the robots, but more so your visitors, to move around your website and find things and figure out what your website is about. Again, you put your home page as the top page, and your other pages are the main ideas. Those be closest to your home page. Supporting content below that, and maybe some other stuff below that. And really, it's about creating a silo. So what you should do is just kind of follow the basic fundamentals of a silo, or how they work, and then make that reflect in your URLs, etc. This is all SEO 101, on page 101 stuff. Nothing new as far as I'm concerned with the new and fancy name. There is some interesting stuff on ideas for your menus, though, where in the example here, the primary example is socks. So they have downhill ski clothing, snowboard clothing, and cross-country sling. Well, socks are socks, right? So they link to each one of those products in all 3 of those menus, but it's going to the same page. They didn't make another page for snowboarding socks, and another one for cross-country socks. They made a page for socks, and then all 3 of those links go to it in those same categories. So that's really what this is, the crust of this about, is following basic 101, SEO 101, techniques to silo your website in order to help not only the search engines know what your page is about, but more importantly, so that your users can navigate your website and buy from you. Okay, next we're going to move to the Yoast blog post, and this one is about which redirect should I use. There are 301, 302, 307, 410s, and 451s mentioned in here. Really, I think for the average person, the average user, just go ahead and stick with 301s. 302s have their purpose if you're going to reuse that domain or that URL for a specific reason. But if you're not going to use that URL, then just 301 it. And that passes the SEO juice, and it makes it a lot easier on your users to find what they're looking for. 302s and 307s is essentially the same thing. It's a temporary redirect and just saying, hey, stuff's not here, go over here, but this URL is going to be useful again soon. And nothing passes through that. It doesn't pass any juice or anything. And then the other two you really don't have to worry about. And then finally there's the 404 error that you get. 410s and 451s you're probably never going to use. I haven't run into an instance where I had to. Content deleted, that's interesting. Why don't I just put a 301 to the related piece of content on there, especially if it's close and it's the same general topic versus having a 404. So it's really a lot of information. Just sounds nice, trying to get you to buy their new technical SEO course. But all in all, the takeaway is go 301s. How to make dashboards that make sense. This is from Search Engine People. I haven't been at this site for quite a while. It looks like they've created some really good content. So definitely come check these guys out. And this one is how to not only make a dashboard, but how to make your dashboard make sense. So if you have a nice fancy one, or you're handing out a nice fancy one to your clients, if it's not answering or enabling them to make sound business decisions off of the data that's there, then it's really not doing them any good. And this thing kind of does what a lot of posts talking about dashboards don't do, is give you some questions or some 5 points that really say, this is what you should be looking for, and if you're not doing that, then you need to rethink your dashboard. And the number one thing I think is, what the number one thing is on their list, is the 5-second rule. If it doesn't answer the questions right off the bat, and you have to search to get your questions answered, then your dashboard is not presented properly, and you need to rethink it a little bit. And there's a couple other things in here too. Again, this is a nice short post for clients, or if you have your own dashboard and you're like, man, I spent so many hours making this, I don't want to change it, but it's not doing the right things for you, just kind of give you some insights on where to go to change it. We go to KISSmetrics, and this will be the first of 2 posts that we have on KISSmetrics. And this one is spammy website tricks that can double your conversions. I don't really like the spammy thing. It's kind of a clickbait headline, to tell you the honest truth. But I will say that the things that he mentions in here, just some people don't like, and then they tell you that they don't work. In fact, they work significantly well. And the first one is countdown timers. Now, I never really understood this, especially if you have, let's say you're selling an ebook or a set of video training, and you put a countdown timer, and we're going to run out if you don't buy by 10. It's a digital product. People aren't dumb. I think you can approach this in a better way, is we're going to stop selling this product for 6 months at this time. And the key to that is to actually do it. Don't come back out 24 hours later with we were approached by email by so many people and we opened it up for 48 more hours crap. Just, if you're going to close it, if you're going to say you're closing, if you're going to use the scarcity to do it, then do it. Have some integrity in your marketing. Then we go down to the next one, is autopilot webinars. Some people like them, some people hate them. Personally, I think most of the webinars that I attend and the people that I know that attend are the replays. So then why would you get butthurt about an autopilot webinar? I don't get it. And these things do convert. You have the live show, the live event, you get your clicks and you get your conversions. Then you show the replay, and then you make that an evergreen thing. It's an evergreen lead generating tool making sales for you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a spammy tactic. And I think as long as it's presented as what it is, it's just a replay of a webinar coming from a landing page, then you're good to go. And then the last thing is overlays. And they show the AppSumo welcome mat. I'm going to tell you, I had it on my website. I hated it. And the main reason I hated it was because it actually significantly affected the page speed. And anyone who knows us in Olympia SEO, we're really worried about that. Like, obsessively worried. So when we add something and it adds to the loading time for our users, we have some problems with that. There are some new changes to it. They made some updates. So it's a question of, do we want to apply that to some sections of our blog? There's a lot of big marketers that are actually using this stuff to great success. And so much as it, even here, like Sumo Me, they're saying, well, I call this biased data, that the welcome at converts visitors 1.76% onto the list versus other stuff. Again, a little bit of biased data, but the crest meeting message here is pop-ups work, welcome mats work, all this stuff works as long as you're not too obtrusive. They're obtrusive. It's called disruptive marketing for a reason. So just go ahead, try it out, test it, get over whether you like it or not, and just know that this stuff is working and is making a list for you. What do you like? The convenience of not having a pop-up, or the convenience of not having to worry about paying all your bills at the end of the month? You decide. Next is the Search Engine Journal. And this is, they're simply announcing a podcast. And the point that I put this in here is, one, it used to be Marketing Nerds podcast. They have some great stuff on this post. There's some why data is important in SEO, and then there's another one in here, the Google Tag Manager. Those are two that I fully intend on reading. Some of them are short, some of them a little bit longer, some are just talking points, some are interviews, but they're renaming it the Search Engine Nerds podcast. So here's the point: if you have a really broad scope thing and you're like, it's just not doing what I should do, but I noticed that X is getting all of the attention, then there's nothing wrong with either rebranding or changing the focus so that you're covering just those topics. And that's what they did. It's a Search Engine Journal. I would have made it the Search Engine Nerds in the first place. I wouldn't make it the Marketing Nerds. Sure, they have content from other people, but really everyone checks out the site for search engine stuff. So, and then how to leverage content marketing, paid search, news, and social media tools, and all that stuff for search engine optimization. So why not have it Search Engine Nerds? I think it's a great decision by these guys, and it just goes to show you, one, managing podcasts are hard, and two, it's okay to change the scope no matter how long your podcast has been going. Theirs been going for 2 years, and they just changed it. All right, MarketingProfs. We haven't seen these guys in quite some time because really, as I've stated before, I hated that pop-up or the hidden content thing where you had to sign up for their site to actually read some of their content. So it looks like they've kind of changed that a little bit, and that's for the better for everyone, I think, including them. It makes me more eager to want to come back more. So this one is 5 tips to nail your first trade show. There's some great ideas in here. It says 5 and there are 5. And I think just check these out. If anything is actually your business card, and either they're going to throw it away because they feel dumb for picking it up, or they're going to keep it because it was really cool. And the guys that keep it are probably the ones that you want to work with anyway. And then plan for one where you actually have a booth and you're standing there and you're ready to talk to people and engage. I think you will find that if anything, you build your brand and you get some people to talk to you about things that you need. I SEO business, for example, will find web developers, coders, designers, copywriters, all that stuff, depending on the trade show you're going to. Or if you are a plumber, you can do the same thing at these trade shows as well, and just kind of boost your business, boost your brand, and get more exposure. So I would check this out. This post is good, and then get your and then another one is how tech buyers evaluate. This is really a post with 2 infographics. And the takeaways are, if you're running a SaaS, have a free trial. Definitely have a free trial or offer a free account. And then have product demos. And then hopefully those are good enough that you'll get a lot of referrals from other users in order to build your SaaS product. If you focus really on those 3, trials, demos, referrals, files, demos, referrals, the rest of the stuff is really going to take care of itself and kind of build you really quickly. And then you can work on the other stuff, the reviews and presentations and all that stuff, so that you really, when you're ready to really scale. Again, this is a good one. Really, it's just for the infographics, and it's a short read. Small business trends. It brings us a article on your small business should outsource these marketing tasks. Interest management, grab task. What that means is it doesn't really take a whole lot of creativity. You can create an SOP and say, hey, go do this, and hire someone to do it versus doing it yourself. I think you're going to find that if you focus more on your big money tasks or tactics versus looking at doing all this little stuff, you'll enjoy your business a lot more. I know I certainly have when I started outsourcing, and that lesson was hard to learn, but the value that I get out of doing it now far exceeds the money that I'm spending to have outsourcers. So check it out. Again, though, if like say you enjoy doing Facebook ads, you enjoy making graphics for Pinterest, then by all means manage your stuff. Get rid of the stuff you hate that you know you need to do. And then our last one is from the KISSmetrics blog. It's 5 tips to creating an unbeatable Facebook ad campaign. I won't go into all this because, well, frankly, I'm not the person to preach to you about how to make a good Facebook ad campaign. I wish I was. We've done it, we've gone through all the trainings and stuff, and just for us, we were never really that successful for our agency. We've done some good campaigns for our clients, but in the end, I think you really need to do what we did, was just seek out the pros, and you can either get them to teach you or do your own campaigns. With that said, I think the real end story of this entire thing is to test your ads. Have some emotion in your ads, make different variations of your ads, and then remember where you are marketing. You're not on a search engine. You're not on a Yellow Pages book or anything like that. You are on a social media channel where you're trying to grab their attention when they're watching their wall full of 1,000 different junk posts, fake news, quote unquote, or even cat videos. So just be cognizant of that. Know your audience, know what they are talking about on Facebook, and then leverage that at the right time. Don't wait till it's too late. We've done that before too. We jumped on the bandwagon after the bandwagon left. So make sure you're timely and purposeful and emotional and engaging, and then your ads will work. We're going to do some more stuff with ads testing just for the purposes of sharing content and generating traffic. I think it'll be useful not only for us, for our clients, but it'll be a great information piece to see how we can leverage that while we're waiting for our SEO efforts to kick in, which are significantly more long-term, and while not free, once established, they're significantly cheaper and the ROI is a lot higher. And that's it for about white hat versus black hat with Josh Brzezinski, and his name is Chase. I don't know what his last name is, or didn't bother looking for it to be more specific. But I leave my thoughts on the whole debate of what is white hat, what is black hat, how are we looking at it, what is better, what is worse, and then we ended up with just kind of giving our insights about the whole topic. I won't do any spoiler works. I think you should check it out and at least get the old blood flowing and see where you are on it. And with that in mind, if you could, kind of leave a comment down below. Is it white hat and black hat? Which method works for you? And which method do you think has a long-term life within the search engine optimization space? I think it's neither. I think as a industry, we need to get rid of both of those terms because we're doing nothing but hurting ourselves. And if you want to look at it literally, anything that you do that serves to influence the search engine results is a violation of terms of service of Google, and thus you are violating the rules, and thus you're a black hat. And I'll leave you with that. And thank you very much for watching this episode number 24 of SEO This Week. As always, if you have any interesting posts, let us know. One of the pieces of content here was brought to you by one of our monthly or weekly readers and listeners. So if you, again, I post this stuff, so if you know anything or you know a good blog, even if it's yours and you think it's great content, you think it should be highlighted, pass it on to me. And hope you have a great week, and thank you.